A lot of severe weather or violent thunderstorms can cause a lot of damage if there's a strong cold front. A weather front is the main cause of most weather events such as rain, thunderstorms and severe weather conditions. This is why I find a front so interesting. The region where cold and warm air meet is known as the weather front, and various elements determine what type of front you will get. Water can be used to simulate what happens when cold air meets warm air. In the one side of the tank we have cold water and it comes up against or meets with warm water. When the two air masses meet in the atmosphere, the cold air is heavier and denser, while the warm air is lighter and more buoyant, and so it forces it to rise above the cold air, and that's when we get a cold front. Clouds form when warm, moist air cools down as it goes up into the atmosphere, along a cold front which is more vertical or sharp, in a sharp rise in the atmosphere. You get cumulonimbus type of clouds, whereas along the warm front, which is more gentle and horizontal and widespread, you get types of clouds like nimbostratus, cumulus, stratocumulus, and eventually those high-level clouds which we call cirrus. What's even more interesting is that the resulting cloud cover from warm fronts can often lead to cloudy conditions, and that's why it's quite cool. But when the cold front arrives, because the cold air is heavy and dense, there's no formation of cloud, and that's why you get clear skies like we do in winter. When you look at clouds from the ground, it's hard to believe that those fluffy masses are liquid droplets or ice crystals that are suspended in the atmosphere. For clouds to form, you need essentially three elements. The first element is water vapor, which is moisture where water has evaporated and turned into an invisible gas. The water in the flask will be heated and it will evaporate into the gas above it. In the troposphere, air pressure decreases with height, so as the warm air rises, it cools and then condenses. This is demonstrated by sucking out the warm air from the flask, and with all the particles inside the flask, the water vapor can then condense at what is called dew point temperature, and a cloud will form. However, for water to condensate, it needs a non-gaseous surface or something to stick onto. So things like smoke particles, ice crystals, or minute dust that is suspended in the atmosphere allows the water vapor to stick or to condense around it. And then once it's cooled, it'll change from a gas into a droplet or liquid. Clouds are very important because they form a valuable part of the hydrological cycle. Water is transferred from the oceans or the seas inland to give us precipitation, which is things like rain, snow, sleet, fog, mist, or drizzle.